Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. It is the Teeyaskippper here, and I just wanted to share this morning message with you. This message this morning has really just been about, man, understanding that everything that you are hurt by really is not intentional and it's not personal. And I have to say this because I'm sure you've seen people talk about or go on rants and raves about how they started a business and they don't see the support that they want to see, or doing events and maybe you didn't see the people who you wanted to see come, or just maybe someone said something or did something and it offended you. Well, you didn't bring it to the person, you just walked away with the offense. And I just want to say that even though sometimes things do look offensive and they do look personal, sometimes the other person has no idea that you are offended, that they hurt you, or that you feel undervalued by them. Sometimes they have no idea. And the next thing I can hear people say is, they should have known. That statement is not going to work out well dealing with humans. And seeing that we're human beings, you kind of got to find a place to put that. Because when we say things like that person should have known, that also feels like you're assuming that this person is always thinking about you. And even with me saying that, a person would say, well, I'm always thinking about them, and that is the problem. Because your unhealthy boundaries with people is what you're setting your standards off of. And because they're deeply unrealistic, it sets you up greatly for disappointment and to be hurt. No one can think about you 24/7 because, number one, 8 of those hours they're asleep. And then the hours that they are awake, they have a whole separate life that requires their attention. And don't add on if they have children, or if they run businesses, or have dogs, which are all the same thing in my opinion. It feels like a child. There's no way that this person can carry you in thought the way you do, and you don't really have as much on your plate. You get what I'm saying? Or even if you do have a lot on your plate, but you still obsessively think about this person, it's not fair to say they should have known, because that's the same as saying they should have been thinking about me the same way, the same amount of time and frequency as I think about them. And that is controlling, and it also is not healthy or realistic. And so what I'm learning on both sides of this, having been on both sides, is that you have to understand that sometimes we're hurt simply because someone did not act in our best interest. They acted in theirs. That is not always malicious. Sometimes it's necessary. If a person is behind on their bills and they got to go into grind mode to get caught up or to be able to put food on the table, they're not thinking about you. They're in survival mode. That's not malicious. That's their responsibilities being prioritized. And I know you were used to and you liked being in that place that made you feel like you were important because they had you close to number one. Well, when life calls, and their life calls, you don't get to be number one anymore, and that doesn't feel as good. And I know I've been on both sides of it. And this is why I'm doing this video, to say that when people cannot show up or do not show up for you in the ways that you've shown up for them or that you want to be shown up for, it's not always malicious. Some people just have real life things going on to where they cannot give you the attention in the amount that they did before, because their life is requiring much more from them. Okay? And then in the cases where it is intentional, then you know what to do with that. You know what I mean? All you can do is bring it to a person and say, hey, you don't start by accusing. Because that's another thing that's not going to work out well for you if you live life that way. Again, I know this from being on both sides. I've done it and I've had it done to me. So you don't start by accusing. You start by saying, hey, I'm not sure that this was your intention at all, which is why I'm bringing this to you. I feel da 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 da, or when you did this, it made me feel like you didn't value me as whatever position you have in their life. And you give them the opportunity to tell you the truth, to make amends, and to let you know that that was not their intent, and to apologize. You have to give people the opportunity. You cannot address it as if you know for a fact this is what they meant, this is what they did. They can't be trusted. You can't just ghost the situation because you're so sure you know what type of person this is and this is why they did it. You have to give people a trial. It's the same thing in America. You can't just prosecute somebody. You can't just say they're guilty and they got to go to jail. You got to give them a chance to tell you what happened. Now, in the case that you give the person a chance and you give them an option and the space to be accountable, if they refuse to take any accountability, if they hit you with the, wow, that's you, I don't get why you, like, that's your stuff, I ain't got no parts of it. If they just cannot completely understand how you would feel at the fact that your relationship had a shift in it and it was not addressed, then keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not fair on their part, to not acknowledge that you would feel some type of way seeing that your relationship dynamic has changed. But if you bring it to someone and they say, you know what, I did not, if they're shocked, like, wow, that was not at all my intention. Like, I really got caught up with work. I really was just, my business requires so much energy and focus. It really was not my intention to make you feel like you don't matter, because you absolutely matter to me. I feel like that is such a great moment. And even if things never go back to the level of intimacy or closeness that your relationship had, at least it leaves with a new layer of respect and release. And that's a beautiful thing for both parties. Because when a person truly does love you and they really do care about you, and you just disappear because you're hurt and you did not address it, it's painful for the both of you. Okay? And so for the person who is not painful for, they just don't want no accountability, they can't see at all how you would feel the way you feel, like they just don't even want to address it at all, then I'm not speaking to that. You keep it moving. You understand me? But give people a chance, because I'm really understanding that a lot of us are going through a lot mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all the chalees, child. A lot of us are, and our capacity is dramatically changing. And because of that, a lot of us are more inept and more sensitive to being offended, because we're already going through a lot. And with the level of sensitivity increasing because of how stretched we are, we also have to simultaneously increase the compassion and the talks. Like, hey, can you talk? We have to amp up the communication. And I know sometimes it may feel like, I can't have this conversation no more. Then decide to let this be the last conversation between you two and come up with an agreement to where this is the last. But I'm telling you, a lot of our capacity is changing, and that is not meant to send the message to other people that I don't care or value you. It's really saying that I am exhausted, and I am not showing up for you because I'm not proud of you. Either I can't freaking afford it, or energetically I can't afford it. And just like you want me to be there, I want you to understand that. And it's something so beautiful about meeting in the middle and saying, wow, though I am sad I did not get from you what I wanted, I do understand why I didn't. And the other party saying, while I am sad that I disappointed you, I do understand why you wanted this from me or why you expected it. I've had those conversations, and I know how fulfilling they are and releasing they are. Did we go back to where our friendship was initially? No. But the beauty of the understanding, it was something so new, we didn't even need what we had before. And there's a level of respect now and a release of expectations from each other that makes both parties feel free. So I just wanted to offer that to you guys today. Again, hear me. This is not about people who hurt you intentionally, who are intentionally petty or narcissistic or trying to get their lick back or trying to manipulate you or train you or punish you through immature behavior. I'm not talking about that. And if this message for you, you already get the gist that that's not what we're talking about, because you know where to put that mess. I'm talking about giving, I'm talking about thinking about this through your own humanity and how you are human. And it is best to give the grace that you are undeniably going to need one day. You may not even foresee needing this grace, because right now you may be wearing the badge of, well, I'm always there for people. But you're still growing. And you're going to grow to a point. You're going to eventually get to a point where your life needs more of your attention than you can constantly give others. And you're going to need that same grace your friend was asking you for. So that's all I wanted to offer you guys today. And let me know down in the comments what this message, what thoughts triggered, what memories, what relationships triggered for you concerning this message. And I'd love to hear, okay? I love y'all, and as always, I'll see y'all the next time you see me, okay?